When I first started my cleaning business, my pricing strategy was broken. This is how I gave pricing. I would get a call from a potential client. I would schedule a time for me to go out to their house. I'd walk through their home. And at the end, I would give them a price based on how much time I thought that cleaning would take. And almost every single time, I underpriced myself and gave them a price where I made no money and I stayed way longer in that house cleaning it than I thought I would be in the beginning. And after doing this so many times, you start realizing, okay, maybe there's something wrong in how I'm doing this. I keep losing money. There are many instances where a house that I thought would take 3 hours for me to clean actually took 6, 7, even 8 hours, a whole day to clean. And I'm charging them $250. What? That doesn't even make sense, right? I'm losing money every single minute that goes past those 2.5 hours that I thought I was going to, or the 3 hours that I thought I was going to be there. You can't run a profitable business that way, and that's why you need to have a pricing strategy. And for me, I realized that I need to have some type of structure so that every time I go give a pricing, I know what I'm talking about, I know how I'm giving that price, and that I'm ensuring that I'm never going to lose money on the price that I'm giving, and making sure that I have a healthy profit margin every single time. Did you know that 70% of consumers, before they buy any product or service, they will visit a business's website? That's why you want to increase the conversion rate of every single person that is going to your website into sales. You don't want people to just go to your website to read some information and then get off. You want to make sure that your website is actually a lead generator, or that it's actually converting those people into bookings for your business. And that's what you can do with Yobo. Yobo transforms any website into a powerful sales and lead generating machine. And you do this with a multi-step form that you can embed right into your website. Forget the contact forms, forget the non-customizable booking options that you have on the market today. Use Yobo and start increasing the sales and leads for your business today. I'll put the link in the description. A pricing strategy is also very important because you want to give the right price, which means that you don't want to give a price that's too low where you don't make money, but you also don't want to give a price where it's too high and you potentially lose that client. And also a side note that you need to remember that every single business and every single person that runs a cleaning business prices their services differently. And this is because everyone offers different services, provides that service in a different way, uses different materials, has different types of services that they provide, has different amounts of people inside the house. Some people it's a solo cleaner, some people it's a team of 4. So every time the pricing is going to be different, and there's pros and cons to every single person's business and every single person's pricing strategy. So I'm going to give you the base structure of how I price my cleaning services, and then you can take that and go create your own structure for your pricing in your own cleaning business. In my business, I start off with a base price. The base price is just another word for minimum pricing, meaning I don't go under that price ever. For example, if it's a first time cleaning, I won't go under $200. $200 is the bare minimum that I will charge for a first time cleaning. And no matter how much a potential client is going to try to haggle me on the price and ask me, can you go lower than that? I won't go under ever my minimum price. That's where I start. That's a hard line, and we build up from there. So how do you calculate your base price? For me, I like to take the average of how long it takes usually to do a first time cleaning. So in this example, let's say it's 3 hours. On average, it takes for my teams to do a first time cleaning working as a group of 2, 3, or 4 people, depending on a regular sized home. Knowing that it's about usually 3 hours on average that they're going to be spending in that house, I'm going to calculate what my expenses are for those 3 hours, and I'm going to use that as my base price. So how much in labor costs am I going to have for those 3 hours? How much is the materials? How much is the equipment? How much is the insurance or anything else? Taxes, include that in that base price. And then since now that I have my base price, everything that I add on to that would be my profit. That's how I like to calculate my base pricing so that my base price isn't too high, but it's also not too low where my expenses aren't covered. And then on top of that, I'm gonna add all of the additional rooms that a client wants cleaned. Not the kitchen, not the living room, not the dining room, not one bathroom or one bedroom, right? That's already included in that base price. On top of that base price, you're gonna add on the second bedroom, the third bedroom, the fourth bedroom, the attic upstairs, the finished basement that they want cleaned, the 3 other bathrooms in the house that they want cleaned, the extra hallways. Some houses have 2 living rooms. That extra living room, that would be an additional cost. You put all of those rooms together, the pricing that you will charge to clean each one of those rooms, and that's based on how your company operates and how much you want to charge per room, and then you add that to that base price all together, and that will be your final price. Now remember, you set the price. So whatever your calculation comes out to, that doesn't have to be the final price that you have to stick to, right? It's just a good idea of how much you're going to be charging for that cleaning, because sometimes every house is different. We know this in this industry. Every house is different. Every client is different. Every level of detail is different. Some clients want you to use eco-friendly products. You're going to charge a premium for that. Some clients don't want you to use a certain product. They want you to use theirs. So you're going to charge a premium for that. The idea behind a great pricing structure is that you don't have to guess how much you should be charging for that cleaning. Once you start guessing on how much you should be charging for a cleaning is when you start losing money, because your guesses will always be wrong. Having a structure in place and charging per room, or having a base price in the structure, or having additional costs for every little thing that the client wants to add on to it, ensures that you're not going to lose money for the things that client wants you to do in their house. Now, I also want to share with you guys some points here that you need to keep in mind, and it's very important when you're giving prices to clients. Be confident in the price that you're giving. I see a lot of times in the cleaning business, in the cleaning industry, when people give pricing, they always give pricing kind of like they're afraid of what the client is going to say, right? They're afraid of what, if the person's going to like it, if they're going to think it's too high, if you're going to think it's too much, it's too expensive, and they kind of give it as like a question. I used to do this when I got started in my own cleaning business. I would give a price, and it would be like, is $350 okay for you? And you shouldn't be giving a price like that ever, right, to a potential client. Once you know how much you want to charge for that specific client, give them that price confidently. Don't propose it as a question. Just give it straight up to them. This is how much we charge. This is the price for this cleaning. This is what you'll have to pay. And that's it. Let them give you the answer. If you present it as a question, then you're kind of opening up the door for the client to look at you and be like, oh, maybe this should be lower because they're proposing this as a question. Maybe I can say, no, it's a little too high. Can you do less? That's when you start negotiating with clients, and at the end, you could get negotiated out of more profit. And some clients, man, I mean, I've seen people that, they'll say, I want this done. And then once you go to their house, they'll start asking for a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, you already gave them a price, and it becomes this big, complicated, argument between you and the customer, and that's not good for anybody. So be confident in the pricing that you're giving. A great way to be confident in the way that you're going to be giving your price is to reiterate what you're going to be doing in that house before you give that price. So one thing that I like to do is when I've done my walkthrough, or when I'm off the phone with the client and I'm able to give them the price, I'm be like, so for this first time cleaning for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,000 square feet home, you want this done, you want this done, and you want this done. And then we're also going to do your finished basement, and you want us to use these products, and we'll be showing up for this cleaning. We charge this much, right? You get the idea? By presenting it in that way, I'm kind of giving an overview of everything that we talked about, everything that they wanted, everything that they asked for. And then I would say, for this cleaning, for what you asked for what you want me to do for you, this is how much we charge for that. And then hand it over to them. And a lot of times when I give the pricing, I immediately follow up with what day of the week works best for you. I don't even give them time to even think about if that's the right price or not. No, that's the right price because that's my price. At the same time, let's already schedule it, right? You just kind of jump in. This is just kind of like a little sales 101 here for when you're giving pricing to clients. Hey Susie, so for a first time cleaning with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2,000 square feet, you want us to do your finished basement, and then you also want us to do the cleaning with these products here. Oh, and you asked to do the attic as well, so we're gonna take care of that for you. And then I remember you asked for the window downstairs towards the entrance. You want that cleaned as well. So for this cleaning, we're gonna be charging this much, and we're going to make sure that everything's done for you. And you can expect the team to be here for at least, and I'd like to say at least, because it gives them an idea of how much time they should kind of reserve for that day, because you don't want the client thinking that it's going to be like an hour cleaning and it's actually a 3-hour. So I'll go for at least 3 to 4 hours on that day. We have some availability on Monday. Does that work for you? And then just go from there. By having a good pricing structure followed by a great delivery of that price, you are increasing your chances of landing that client because you're coming out with a lot of professionalism, confidence in what you're doing and what you say you're going to be charging for that service. And I also want to add this because this is going to save a lot of you from falling into scams from people clients that you think are honest, but they're not. Always collect a deposit. Why is a deposit so important? One, a deposit is so important because it makes sure that the person that you're talking to, that potential client, is a serious buyer. You don't want to deal with someone that's like, oh yeah, let's schedule it, and then the day before they'll cancel. You don't want to work with someone like that. Second, it confirms that they have funds to pay for that cleaning. A lot of times you're going to have calls from people that they say they want the cleaning and they have $0 in their bank account. How are they going to pay you for that service that you're going to be providing them? And you don't want to deal with that. That's a nightmare. I've dealt with that already in my life. Third, it keeps people from canceling because they've already paid you half of the money or a percentage of that money. It keeps them canceling on you and going to someone else, right? Because they already started the business. They already started the process with you already. They already hired you. It's out of sight. It's out of mind for them. They already paid you a percentage of it. You're the person that's going to be doing the service. So that's good for you. You're securing that client. And then lastly, it's because you're going to get their credit card on file. A lot of times I've seen this. I actually just talked to someone where they told me that a potential client wanted a quote, but they wouldn't be willing to give them their name or even their credit card information or nothing like that. And I get that, and I understand that from the perspective of the person, right? The client that's maybe hesitant to give their credit card information over the phone or in person or whatever. But in most cases, and this is very important, in most cases, the client or the potential client not going to give you a credit card number. It's a deal breaker for them if they have to give you a credit card number. That most of the time means that they're not serious customer and that they could be planning to scam you in some way. I've dealt with people that didn't want to, and I went ahead with the cleaning anyways, and they at the end said something wasn't done and we did it, or something was missing in the house and so they're not going to pay for half of the price, or something was. They have all of these excuses so that they can call you and be like, oh, your business didn't do this, I'm not going to pay you the full money. And you can't even do anything about it because you don't have their credit card to charge the full price. They just paid you the deposit and they're like, I'm going to pay you only the deposit, and everything, the rest of it, I'm not going to pay you anymore. So please keep that in mind when you are giving that price, because it can be a really bad thing for a lot of different businesses. And there's a lot of bad actors out there that are trying to take advantage of small local service businesses. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you learned something from it. If you have any questions, leave that in the comment section below. I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible, and it also gives me ideas for future videos that I can make. That's it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.